All right, guys, game of the day. So towards the end of the last season of this I was doing, I showed you some videos to do with DPS Firebrand, which was kind of a project I was doing at the time that caught my attention. I wanted to learn everything I could about DPS Firebrands, power variants, Condi variants, why they weren't particularly meta, why they were frowned on, because most people will frown and will sort of submit to what the meta is, but they won't ever really try it out and understand for themselves. So I spent several days and really got into it and figured out exactly what it was good at and what it was bad at and kind of had my feel. Well, I'm doing it again, but on something even more wild here, really. Today, I'm going to be playing something I've played a lot of, an embarrassing amount of games. You won't believe how much I've played because it was only a couple of days ago we were showing off some core guard stuff. But trust me, I've spent a lot of theorycraft on this. I'm going to be showing off Renegade. But no, not just Renegade, which is pretty weird. I would consider probably the worst of the elite specializations. There are some Renegade builds you see, and indeed I maybe 6 months ago was playing a lot of Renegade as well, trying it out. Most of the time you see people are running with Khylo and the spirits. I'm not. I'm actually running Shortbow. And it took me a while to get to this. It actually started with a lot of experimentation with just core Condi Rev. And then I was trying a lot of Herald. Because there's a lot of things that have changed about Condi Rev and Condi traits. And obviously you had the Herald rework recently. And there's a new transferal with the F2 from being a Herald. And Pulsating Pestilence is a new Grandmaster. And there's lots of things going on, honestly, with Rev and Renegade that I wanted to try. And honestly, I really like this build. It's not good, and I don't have great success on it, and I would never try and claim it's like a hidden meta nobody knows. I just want to show what's fun about it, and share this experience of build crafting with you guys. So I'll do this video, we'll do a game, and then if it's really fun, maybe I'll get into the nitty-gritty of the build, but I'll just show you the playstyle. Essentially, what we are here is extremely flighty, skirmishy, fast rotating off-point DPS build. All right, so we're gonna seek to flee from people and beat them through attrition and range. Very fresh airy, to be honest with you, which is a playstyle I feel very comfortable and fit with. It's very kite heavy, but if we're left off point for a little while, we can rain hell and do a lot of damage. So you'll actually notice it's Shiro. This is 100% what I've made. Nobody will really. I've never seen anyone play anything even remotely like this. So maybe the build will be interesting for you guys to see, and maybe I will go into a little bit more detail than I normally would, just because there's no bar for this normally. So let's see what we do. Opening gate. I'm dropping some alacrity. I'm really excited to show you guys this. To be honest, I'm already misplaying a little bit. I don't know how late this game is or how well I'll play really. I know it's an okay-ish game. I just don't remember the specifics. But one thing you can actually do when you're running one of the traits is you can pop the roll against the wall, which will give you Fury, which will give you Kala's Fervor. And then you can continuously bounce Kala's Fervor with F2. And essentially all of that is to say, here, so I do the roll forward, right? And with the about face, and I get one Kala's Fervor. Now when I press F2, and we're out of combat, so it's basically free, I start pumping Might out. I've now got 2, and I refresh it. Now, if I'd been doing this a bit smarter, we can actually open mids with 15 might and alacrity on the team very easily. That's before anyone else does anything or there's any blasts and stuff, which is always nice to open with. And I'm doing a little bit of it here, I guess, but not much. Yeah, we're going to, like, basically solo have, like, 20 might, Fury. We have... It's a very glassy build. We have... all like 70% plus all the appropriate Condi durations, and when we pop our Malik's elite, it's nearly 100. We've got almost 100% crit chance. It's as high pressure as I possibly can get out of the Shortbow, built onto a kit that can survive. That's the whole idea, right? That's what makes the build actually playable. So anyway, it's Khylo, which is kind of a fun map, kind of not a fun map, depending on how aware you are of what's going on. Because I can stand on a lot of no ports and do a lot of damage on the nodes. But when the entire thing is initiating, I'm very vulnerable here if I don't know where people are. I have to be very cautious. We have a ton of escape potential, evades, blocks, because we have staff on our second set. But I have to know when someone's coming, when something's happened. You know, if a core guard comes up in particular. One of the reasons I'm making this video is because I played these games shortly before the December balance patch with Winter's Day. This is what I was doing before the balance patch came out, and now a load of stuff's going to change. Core guards just change, so I want to get this out and document this before it's too late, really. while the old meta is still in people's mind. These videos are going to lose meaning pretty quickly, I think. Anyway, so yeah, we're just kind of initiating on the fight, seeing who we want to hit, because it's kind of soft here at the moment. There's not much going on. This is a Boom Beast. You can dominate these as well. It's really nice. We have nearly every Condi in the game, depending on when and how we want to use things, except Taunt. And we also have a lot of boon rips, so you'd be amazed how people who rely on resistance get kind of owned. So anyway, this is an okay situation because they're starting to clutter on the node and nobody's really towards me. Here you'll notice with those couple of auto attacks I took a second ago, I've given myself 5 Khylo's Fervor and popped the F2. This only takes an instant to do, so I've got 15 might off point here. Once I start attacking, I'll get 3 Fury as well, which will be even more might. So yeah, we drain our energy down. And legend swap, always below 10%. Very easy to do on this build, very important to do on this build, because you're going to start with a ton of energy, which we can use for a load of things. We're going to swap and go straight into Demon. Now, this gives us more Condi damage, more expertise, all that stuff. And we're going to sit here, drilling damage down onto them. We're also going to throw in the occasional Banish Enchantment, which keeps them boon deprived. So this is excellent against Firebrands and basically anything that's sustaining hard, because you just get rid of their resist. We're hybrid damage, so we're actually good flat damage. You see I just crit for 2k there on just an auto, and that bounces 3 times, right? As well as the burn, and the 5 confusion comes from me and stuff. So when we're ripping the confusion off at the same time, we're going to be able to get through a lot of the defenses, okay? So here you can see this guy melts down. We get the credit for the kill there with the burn. By the way, I point this out a lot on Game of the Day, not because I think it's important or I'm trying to act smug, but just to at least offer some proof that it was, at least in part, my pressure that put someone down. And here we're able to free attack this guy. Here you notice my energy's getting low again. So what we're going to do is when we run out, swap to Shiro. And now we're going to run Impossible Odds. So while we're running Impossible Odd... And by the way, you'll notice I was in Demon stance there. It's pulsing Torment around me. So if anyone aggresses me, they get hit hard. But I don't really care as much about that as I do about the attributes and about going up to like 31,000 health. So yeah, now all the bouncing autos are life-stealing. And this was really the magic thing. I loved discovering this. Just the synergy between running a hybrid sort of damage thing, even with Shiro, was so fun. I'm going to look like an idiot now and find out that everyone's been doing this, but oh my god, it's been so good. So yeah, we just get, you know, lots and lots of good damage here. The Scourge has just been rotted out. I obviously don't need to stomp any of that. We just hit the guys. They're all crowded clustered on that little area there. We obviously also get F3. It's not that good. I don't actually like it that much, but it is good to fill a gap every now and then. Quite often, the Shortbow 4 feels stronger than it, honestly. But yeah, we give ourselves Alacrity as well to get some things back. The Spellbreaker comes in. Go for some pressure on him. Here I've just chained as much Boon Rip as possible because I'm waiting for Resist to come up. And here he killed my guy. Okay, so here we did a nice little play. It got full countered, but this we do a lot. Now, when I get aggressed, you're seeing one side right now, which is just how it can rain hell when it's not being attacked. And that's all well and good. A lot of builds can do that. There's another side of this, which is when I'm being attacked. How do we survive? And hopefully this game will have a lot of that for you. But in case of 1v1s and stuff, I can beat a warrior 1v1 if I've got places to kite. It's not a problem. And one of the ways you can mostly do it is... getting free casts of the Shiro Elite. It's honestly so strong. He gets a full counter on me though, and I pull back. I was worried about a tether there, but he's still low and he's free damage, so I just keep looking towards him. The knockdown misses, the ring misses a little bit. I'm kind of close in range, so we go into Malik's here and just kite in a little circle. Okay, so you'll notice how fast I'm moving. It's an extremely fast build. Why? Yes, because it's speed runes. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've got super speed. Why would you ever run speed runes? It is not a legitimate criticism whatsoever, and I'll explain why by demonstrating for you. So don't you guys worry. So anyway, the Boon Beast comes towards me. I Boon Rip a bit. Go to Shiro. Condi him up. He's obviously 1v3, so he's dead. That's not really a demonstration of the build in any way. Go for this res. Pretty easy. My guy beats the core guard. We're getting a lot of kills right now, but doing very badly on nodes. That's enemy spawn, so I look towards that. Here I'm happy to keep draining this, because what I'm going to do is swap to Shiro later anyway. And what I actually want to do is get in combat right now, because by being in combat, I will proc the trait. If I leave combat, I won't be able to. So I need to be in combat. There you go. And now when I swap, this guy doesn't come up in the right direction. So here we can Shiro alt, and it's not a ring, it's a sphere, so I know it will hit him under there. And it does. We use this. Come down and follow him. And most of our stuff's out of range right now. That's fine. Remember, most of the time as we're running around, we're going to be very spammy with the F2 and the F4. One thing I've noticed, so few people play Renegade, as obvious. I've never really seen much of this. But these are really spammy abilities that you can use them so much. You can give so much alacrity and might and stuff to your allies and yourself. Because most of the time you're out of combat between engagements, and it's not punishing in any way. So here we take the port in, which gives us quickness. And quickness plus the lifesteal and whatnot is just kind of crazy. Another really nice combo to do often as well is you can port across the map and throw out the Shortbow 5 knockdown, which is really good. So here we pull through here. So by the way, I have permanent super speed just from one rev trait, which gives me swiftness when I use energy. And that's it. And the speed runes. And that's how I'm able to just keep kiting quite casually along here. So here, the big problem with Shortbow is you can't shoot behind you. So one of the main things you have to do is cast the 4 in front, but just at the right edge so that you're kind of walking through it as you do so. And that's as good as you can get. Anyway, so he turns around because I've got my ally here. I guess I'm just following this guy for now. This isn't very good, to be honest. I mean, it's a good demonstration of the builds. It's not good rotating. So anyway, we see that he shield bashes. I still have support of my guy. He uses resist, so we go for a banish enchantment. Or we should go for a banish enchantment. I guess not. There's a full counter. And you see how this is really bad because I'm just running in circles basically. But you can at least see how he would never really be able to get into us. It's only really terrible because I also have the core guard helping me here. So he comes back towards us. We come up. It's a 1v1. So here's a nice other thing as well. The leap establishes chill on them over and over and over again. So that's quite nice. He takes a cleanse. Oh no, it's not a 1v1. The guy's still here. That's fine. We're scoring the decap. I pulled him over here. Okay, now he's leaving. I thought this was a good game. This is not a good game right now. This is just running around. Maybe it's still cool to see the Shortbow. There we do snag him a little bit at the end there. Get some precast on our heal again so that we can get some worth out of that. Here he's in full counter and I managed to not proc it, which is pretty good. Here he's screwed. If he comes anywhere near me, he's going to come in this puddle and die. And that's exactly what he does. He actually goes down to the life leech impact of going into the Condi field. He doesn't even get Condied. All right, and I've looked like I'm very low pressure there, but as soon as he's stopped moving, you see we can obviously cleave the body pretty hard, and just be done with that very quickly. Got an Airly coming towards us now, so we're gonna kite over here. Throw this down. Obviously our guy died, so I've got to be careful because I'm 1v2 here at mids. They are going to be preoccupied with capping, at least for now. So here, once again, we swap to Shiro with max energy, and we can take the elite. I guess I stowed that one, or not exactly. So a Weaver, we can snap kill. So Churning Earth I don't want to be in, so I'm going to dodge at the right time. And dodging the Churning Earth happened to dodge the enemy Guardian as well, which was really nice. Here the Weaver did go down to our burns in the end because he was being aggressed by my ally at the same time. And we've managed to secure 2 cap. I come over to Far, where it looks like they've been struggling a little bit against Scourge. So this has got an excellent matchup against melee aggression. It's also got a great matchup against people who rely too much on boons. And it's okay against Condi as well, because every time we legend swap, we transfer pretty much all of our... It's 3 Condis, but realistically the way that it works, because we also cleanse a Condi every time we legend swap, you get rid of 4 Condis and you're throwing them back on your opponent. So hopefully I'll fight that Scourge in a 1v1 later as well in this game, and you'll see how that can go. Anyway, so for now, we just sort of kill him, Torment. Coming back towards mids, maintaining alacrity as we go. And watch. So you see how my Khylo's Fury Fervor is running out? Well, I press F2, we get it back, and we're just at a baseline of 15 might as we run around. Until it gets ripped, obviously, but if it's been ripped, we're probably in a fight. So here I've been jumped by the Soul Beast, who's hit me with really hard condis, and I bail out because I don't have another choice. Here, I don't actually want to engage on that warrior. I want combat break, so I've walked all the way up here knowing that combat break should trigger on the ranger, and now I'm running back because I don't want the warrior to hold me in it or see how low I am. Oh, there you go. I guess I do a double take. Oh, do I come up for him anyway? I've played too many games. I don't know what's what. I don't know which ones I'm looking at. Get pretty poorly full countered there as well. Not too good. Anticipating the Soul Beast coming in. I cast the field in front of me. He stealths. We got a core guard. Got to be careful. I may look very vulnerable in a lot of these situations, but I do always have weapon swap up and the energy to use staff if need be. Pull away when I see that he comes towards me. As soon as he turns around, go back in. So here, we've got the kill here thanks to our guardian, but he's 1v3 here. I need to res this, and then we can win the 3v3 properly. The Jacaranda field is pretty dangerous, though. We are squishy, ultimately. Like, that's the thing with this build. It is a glass build. My guy goes down, so this is really important now. They've got one down. Everyone else is a bit low up there. I remember this, at least. So I'm going to port in, and with the quickness I get from the port, I'm going to quick cast the elite, which is going to interrupt the body, which doesn't really matter too much. But it's stunned this guy for a long time, and this guy. They're all Jade, right? So they're just standing there doing nothing. Then we cast the 4. And we score the double kill here. And then I have to run in and sustain this res just until this rally goes through and the burn ticks finish it off, which they do. Here I could have pressed F2 as well and given the body lots of might, right, as he resed up. And now I need to peel away from the warrior who was in vengeance doing all of that. Was he? Or is he just ran off? I don't know. And so, yeah, that's good. I was looking at their spawn, but they only just died, so there's no need to camp it that heavily just yet. So we run through. I will do the speed wound discussion in a second, I think. We'll just wait for a moment till we're kiting away from something. We'll see. So here you see the skill 5. This is my knockdown, and really I need to save it until I see a heal skill or something. I shouldn't really open with it, but just get into grips with things. Yeah, you have to forgive me. But it's very weird the way it works with terrain quite often. Sometimes it will take really odd angles that you might not expect. Anyway, so yeah, we attack this guy, and again, I'm pretty vulnerable here, but I know nobody on the enemy team is in a position where they can like jump me. Run over towards this. I could take a port, but that would be a bit YOLO. Just want to create that, hold that gap. I think he messes up his dagger there. Leap towards this guy with the churning earth. Now this churning earth could lightning flash onto me, and I'd have to be kind of careful. So I guess he doesn't. I thought I'd reacted. This guy falls down. I am only a couple of attacks away from dying here, but I know that he's down the ledge. So what I'm doing right now is I'm giving myself might while I know that I can't really be hit. But I'm jumping because if the warrior jump F1s, he'll actually cleave me. So I'm jumping to make sure that's, you know, not so likely to happen. And then as he comes up, as his shield block ends, which I anticipate to be about now, I go to Shiro. And I've done this early, right? I've not waited for the full energy here from Charged Mists. And we actually get him in the middle of a leap or something there. And now we don't even have to use WASD. We just stand here and auto-attack him to death. Because we know he's unlikely to be able to get out. So yeah, we can leave the body. He throws the hammer on me. Which is quite nice. That poor warrior. I feel like we've just been following him around in this game. Maybe not the best. So yeah, okay, this core guard can jump us. We get onto him. I was kind of hoping he was still chasing and we could have turned around. Still juggling my might. Not very well, though. Here I'm on no port. Obviously, there's the node, but I don't want to just be jumped on. I want to watch to see him get engaged on something else, which he has here. So the other... This is... Core Guard, if they surprise you, can do a ton of damage, but it's a lot of fun against them because Banish Enchantment, you just watch for when they give themselves retail and you just remove it. And it's so horrible to just lose your retail straight away, but you can just rip it. This has got such a short animation, and it got buffed recently to 3 boons instead of 2. 3 is the magic number in so many scenarios, and it is in this situation as well, because whenever they use a virtue, they get 3 boons. We remove all of them. We're guaranteed to get the retail with it. You know, he'll refresh the odd thing as some Fury from Monk's Focus. A bit of Might, but not going to get anything out of that. And so now he goes down, come back up towards mids. Super speed our way along here. I guess we've got a 3-cap now. Just from me monkeying around, running around, doing whatever. So my ally's dead. There's not much I can do here, really, except sustain. I can do damage, but I need to make sure I don't get hit by any of these CCs. And we have an abundance of things. So here I throw my own CC back towards me. The Elementalist is pretty low, but I'm not sure whether we can necessarily do anything about that. Here I mess up my leap. The guard comes in. So one thing about the build, we have 19,000 health. While under this, we're up into the 20s. But the other thing is, when I have resistance on me, which I get from all of these skills, and particularly a long duration here, we have 20% damage reduction, which is worth a lot of toughness, like a lot of toughness. So if we're in the right legend, we're actually okay as we leave. It depends on exactly which trait I was running in this round, because obviously I was changing them a lot as I was seeing what was going on. It's like here I got a bit of bleed, but it's not a problem. I can just give myself resist. And then if it becomes worrying later. So here I got obstructed. You can see a little bit of the clunkiness of Shortbow. In that quite often, and especially the 2, a ton of damage is on the 2, and sometimes it just does nothing. Here again, we take the Shiro ult. I really like this playstyle because I find I use this way more than on any other Rev build I've ever played. We know his only way up is up these stairs, so I precast this here. So you know, this isn't a Boon Beast, I don't think, right? He's some kind of Condi Soul Beast. But as he jumps in, I drop my field. Take a heal. Now, this heals me more the more Condis I've got on me. And the heal gives us resist, which is nice. Go straight... Oh, my tweet deck just went off there. Go straight into the elite. And, you know, he stood in it for too long. And he's been Condied too hard here. So now he's dead. We got to be careful here, though, because we are doing this on their spawn. My ally's taking the decap. Here, by the way, look, you can see. Just using the skill 4 this is, really. And a couple of autos. You know, if there were more... if that's over a midpoint, that's a lot of damage over a midpoint. Those Condis do feel pretty sticky, I think, actually, here. Keep sustaining the might with the F2. Bit more alacrity, get our heal skill and stuff back. Could do those a little bit earlier, probably. Core Guard comes in. We take blocks. So staff, you only really want to go to if you really think you're in danger. And basically, if I see a Guardian that I wasn't prepared for, I'm in that situation. I take the decap and get off the node. I'm going to be 2v1. I don't fancy that. I also don't want to Zerg this. Look at... What I just did was really heavy-footed, but it kind of doesn't matter because we're so fast all the time. So here I'm going to port into mid through the wall. Take the skill 4 under the quickness. And pull back. Drain myself into low energy. Start off with the 80% energy. Score a kill here. Lots of damage going down. Straight into Demon Stance. Give us some resist again, which is helping us against this condition pressure. Use the F3 as well, which is okay, again. Another skill 4 here. Now the knockdown would be pretty good. Turns out we rallied anyway. As the knockdown went through, it did enough flat damage, 2,000, and rallied the guy. So anyway, I'm a bit low. I think I've done my job, to be honest. I've done pretty good there and helped my friend. So here we're going to Shiro forward. Now, why speed runes? I have just done 3 Shiro rolls to create gaps with about facing, right? And I'm in the middle of another one going this way right now. If I wasn't using speed runes, if I was just on Traveler, for example, which would be very good, extra boon duration for the might, for the alacrity, you know, just all kind of extra stats, everything helps, especially when you're in Malix, you know, the more stats, the more. That's all fine. But here's the thing. The super speed is irrelevant. What this allows me to do with these runes is roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, and keep sprinting at max speed all the time. If I'm relying on this channel, I can't also then utilize this a lot, right? So your escape capacity explodes just by the fact we don't have to worry about this anymore. We can trigger charged mists, I think that's what the trait's called, for a ton of energy and just roll like mad. And then once we get in 2 seconds our next stance up, we can leap away, and we're dropping chill fields as we go. So I might look like I'm in danger right now, but with about facing, look at how fast we can move, right? I can, and that's not even with staff there. I could go staff 5 and evade away and use the skill 3 and block away, and you can be running during all of that stuff. Doesn't matter which legend I'm in. You can really feel a massive difference if you're just relying otherwise. So I know it seems like it's a weird thing. It's like, why would you run speed runes on a build that has super speed? It is notorious for having some of the better access to it in the game. Well, this is why, and it is very, very, very pronounced and obvious. And it's hard to give up a Condi rune set, by the way, or it can feel hard to give up. I don't think that this build needs any more pressure, though. It has a freaking ton. If anything, I'd want a little bit more sustain, which maybe the December balance patch is actually offered. We'll see how Retribution feels. So here, like there I just triple dodged, right? Ironically, I was actually using super speed there. That was probably just a bit of poor muscle memory. You know, people can't catch you. You have to be a very sticky build to be able to catch me. So if I get out of position a little bit, if you know, I don't have the bodies there to take the attention for a second. I mean, what you've just watched me do there is overkill, but it's a good demonstration for the build. And a nice little introduction on a Game of the Day video. So yeah, we're about to win the game here. How long has this video been? Oh, Christ, I've been talking for half an hour, have I? Maybe I'll show you another one. There might be another good clip or something. So here we're pressuring a Scourge. This is all us, and in just a few moments. So you can see the good damage here. And so, yeah, we are good against Condis as well, as I mentioned earlier. I'm not even particularly Condied here. Why am I walking into the Desert Shroud? Because I know it's irrelevant. I can dodge roll, and here I've just pressed F1. And as I do so, I transfer to him. I don't know whether that transfer actually worked there in the end. It looks like it didn't really. So I give myself resist, heal up as much as possible, go to staff and use the staff 4 to cleanse as well if we need to. Run past another player. Roll through a few times. So yeah, now I see this guy's on respawn. I give him alacrity. You've not seen much of that this game either, but you know, there's a lot of team support you can offer. Offensively anyway, which is nowhere near as useful as a lot of other builds. I'd much rather be able to give someone a stun break and stability and friggin' cleanse than alacrity and might, but you know, sometimes it can be nice to just have someone who can spike up a ton of might for you. There I get interrupted in Shiro, which is really nice actually. Here we'll kite around with this guy for a bit. So there you saw as well, he used his Greatsword F1. The other thing we do a lot of is slow, and you saw he tried to cast that in slow there, which also makes things extremely easy for me. Here he's given himself resist, so we're going to try and rip it with Banish Enchantments. I think I've been a bit poor with the energy management here, so he might stay alive for a second. Here he's in on me. We had blind up as a team. I don't think I did that blind. I might have if this was the one time I was trying Nightmare runes, but it's definitely not because I'm clearly moving at speed rune speed. I really do think that speed runes opened up some builds that could not have been builds before. I really do, and maybe this is one of them. Anyway, so damage, revives, kills. Yeah, we go 20-0. Pretty fun game. I'm not really rotating anywhere, but yeah, Renegade with a Shortbow. Honestly, I really like it, and I hope you guys found this somewhat interesting and thought-provoking. Maybe I'll get you some better footage of its capabilities, and someone who aggresses me a bit more, maybe some better 1v1s. We'll see. Cheers, everyone. See you on the next one.